It is with great honor and privilege that I introduce Bobby's street crimes partner, Hartford police officer Brian Kearney.
And I do the best I can here today. I love that there's Bud Lights in this podium right now. It's hard for someone to understand the love police partners have for each other. It's even harder to explain this in just a few minutes. But I'm going to try to tell you about Unit 133 here today. A partner's love is one that takes two strangers and makes them brothers. Brothers who promise to protect each other, no matter what, in the most difficult situations a police officer can find themselves in. Brothers who promise to be there for each other, no matter what, whether that's being an ear to listen to or covering the tab when one of the partners forgot his wallet again. Bobby was my partner. We joined the Hartford Police's elite street crimes unit in the spring of 2021. 16 officers, 4 teams of 2 north and 4 teams of 2 south. Bob and I were assigned to the north end. Our mission was to find and apprehend individuals involved in illegal gun and narcotics crimes. Being in a unit like this, most of the time we're going after the worst criminal element that operates within the city of Hartford. We knew there were risks, we knew it was dangerous, and we knew working in a unit like this could cost us our lives. But we didn't care. We knew we had each other for backup, and we knew we had 6 other officers, teammates, that would stop at nothing to keep us safe on the streets. It was also work that Bob and I wanted to do since we pinned the shield to our chests. Proactive police work puts you in a different category of officer. And just like the reasons we both love being cops, we love being in street crimes. We held our heads high with pride and glory. 5 days, 70 hours a week. Bob and I got in our cruiser and went out to the streets of Hartford with our teammates, and we simply tried the hardest we could to catch bad guys. And we were good at it. In 2021 and 2022, street crimes was responsible for hundreds of illegal firearms being taken off the streets. Sometimes those arrests got a little crazy, and Bob and I would get back in the cruiser laughing it off, as man, that was close. Again, we knew the dangers. But we knew we would protect each other. Then we would continue on with our night, buying lottery tickets and Diet Cokes while we talked about everything going on in our lives. And he'd tell me to stop shaving my head or biting my beard. But it wasn't all bad guys and car chases that Bob and I were partnered up for. Pardon me. Bob was also there to say goodnight to my two children every night, and to tell my son to go to bed good for his mother. He took me and my kids out for Doogie's hot dogs because he knew my daughter loved hot dogs. I still remember Bob taking my kids over to the soda fountain to help them pour their favorite sodas. My daughter Claire's was Coke, which made Bob smile because his was too. And while this was happening, I knew I didn't even need to turn my head because I knew my kids were safe with my partner. He'd protect them the same as he did me. And in turn, I knew that Bobby's birthday was going to bring birthday cookie cake. Homemade because he didn't care for cake that much. His most recent birthday, we got him a piece of red velvet cake at Chris's when we were eating breakfast. And bless his heart, Bob didn't eat it, and he told me I could. I knew that if there was a family event in Bob's life, he was going to take the night off to be there because he loved celebrating any occasion he could with his family. And I'd say to Bob, well, what am I going to do? We used to say, to Bob when we were sitting around our office that he needed to settle down and start a family of his own. But what we didn't realize in that moment is that Bob was with his family, his teammates, his partners. I could talk about my nights out with Bob when one of us just needed a beer, or more of our crazy arrests that strengthened our bond with each passing moment. But I'm mildly certain some of those stories may result in disciplinary action, and I believe I saw the Commander of Internal Affairs here today. So I'll begin in closing The week before all this happened, the street crimes unit had been advised that some of our more senior officers were going to be recycled out of the unit. This was hard news to hear for the entire unit. And the North team went out for beers that night at the Old Town Cafe. While we were there, our teammate Lucas was telling a newer member of the unit that if he wanted to see a team of 8 officers, if he wanted to see a team of 8 friends that also do police work together, it's the North Street Crimes Unit. And I couldn't agree more. We were the best of friends, and we all used to say how big of a role Bob played in that team friendship. Because when he wasn't there, we all knew it. He held us together with his logical comments and jokes and just simply being there. Bob was my partner. And he was a hero to the Hartford Police Department. Like it was previously said, Bob was up for an award for distinguished service while apprehending a suspect that had been firing a handgun at an apartment complex in the city's West End. Myself, Bob, Officer Tim Doobie, and Officer Robert Bohm saw that suspect on Gillette Street, and we jumped out of our cruisers. And Bob was the first one after that suspect, seeing the gun in his hand. I'm yelling to Bob to take that corner wide because the suspect had disappeared around the building. And without hesitation, Bob took that corner, not knowing what was on the other side. And took that suspect into custody without firing a shot. He was waiting for that award, and it just hadn't come yet. But I'd like to take this time, since I know most of the awards committee is out in this crowd today, and I'd like to nominate and approve Bob right now for an award. In our last moments, somewhere between heaven and earth, I know Bob told me to turn back and to stay home so I could take care of my family and our teammates. I can hear him saying, "It's okay, Brian. I've got this. It will be okay." If something happened to us, it was supposed to be together. But Bob was the better partner. He saved my life that night by sacrificing his. And I'm here because Bob's took such good care of me. So my last gesture to my partner is to award him with the highest honor the Hartford Police Department has to offer, the Medal of Valor. My Medal of Valor. I love you, Bob. And I will see you again. Unit 133 is signing off.
Hold your head.